Welcome back, listeners. My name is Larry Kallevig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Haven Financial Group radio show where we discuss crucial retirement decisions, topics, financial topics that really can make the difference between thriving and surviving in retirement. Not that all these topics every week are so fun to talk about. We try to make light of them and have fun with some of these heavy topics, but it is so important. And if you're listening today, first of all, thank you. Second of all, come in and visit with us. There is no cost. It's educational. Visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. Come into our education center. Check out all the classes. We're big into education. We help a lot of people through education because that's when we start learning. And again, educated decisions sometimes, if not always, are the best decision making. So again, feel free, 612-504-8400 or online. We'd love to visit with you.
Today we're talking about just keeping your retirement steady during these sort of unknown, volatile times. And, I think it's really important to stress that your strategy there at Haven is that there's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times, but that shouldn't be a real big reflection on your retirement, right? The idea is that we set up a plan and we get in there and we keep it steady as she goes. We adjust as things change on the outside world, but your retirement is your retirement, correct?
Yeah, let's first of all say hope is not a plan. Okay, you got to have hope. Don't get me wrong, but that is not a plan. It's not really, it shouldn't be a guessing game. It's having a plan, staying up to date on what the economy is doing. It's not rooting for a certain political bias or anything like that. It should be much simpler, but it takes some sort of plan. And again, not just looking at it and putting it on the shelf for the next 12 months, because a lot can happen in 1 month, let alone 12 months. We always say at Haven Financial Group, there's no quota as to how many times people can come in and visit with us. I will say most of our clients are eyeballs and handshakes. We're talking about their whole retirement, all these years that they work to put whatever they put together with. And I'm not talking those that are super wealthy. I'm talking those that have very little, that have a lot, and most importantly, anything and everything in between. This applies to all of us. And sometimes people, they get embarrassed and, well, I've not done a good enough job. You know what? We don't have any minimums at Haven Financial Group. We will sit down with anybody because given the opportunity at some point in life, all of us are going to need some sort of assistance, and nobody's too good for that. So again, no matter what your situation is, let's talk.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things out there that should not affect your retirement, starting with the idea of market volatility. You say this all the time, Larry. You like to see monies in the market, but you have to judge your ability to take risk.
Yeah, risk. Risk is a big relative term, which we talk a lot about because it can cause problems in a retirement. A variety of ones like market risk. We like the stock market. The Haven investment team, we manage with Fidelity Investments and Charles Schwab. We're not small, an independent advisory fiduciary firm. And the reality is we're all about the market. We like the market. However, you got to understand the element of time comes into the picture. We're talking to a lot of those that are on the cusp of retirement, 5 years or in retirement. How much risk is appropriate in your portfolio? Do you even know? When's the last time you stress test your portfolio? Just this last week, I had a couple that answered that question by saying, we have no idea how much risk we're taking. But all I know is the end of March, when those last 2 weeks of March, we lost a lot of money. Well, it didn't take long to figure out when they came in to visit with us that their exposure was way more than their comfort level. They had no idea why, but they go, well, we're probably doing the same thing we did 40 years ago. Well, that might be the reason why. They made some adjustments. Next time around, they don't have the exposure. So having an understanding, again, is important, making sure you're not overexposed. And I'll even say this, that we have clients that have no money in the market because they don't need it. But in some cases, that would not be the appropriate answer. We have some that have all of it in the market. But at the end of the day, what's the right balance between liquidity, protected, and stock market? It's not the same answer for all of us, but it should be the right answer for you.
The couple that you made reference to who had no idea how much risk they were taking, sequence of returns certainly affected them in March. And that's the idea that you lose money, but you don't have the same time that you had 40 years ago. And that's something you want to stay away from.
Yeah, withdrawals, right time,
Yeah.
wrong time, what accounts? Again, you retire. I mean, we could show a slide if somebody retires and the markets go down for the first years right off the bat compared to if they go up. And it's a big, big difference. Sequence of returns of risk is real. It's easy as humans to become complacent when the markets are good, which we've set records several times in the last several weeks.
Right.
Oh, honey, our portfolio is doing so good. We're sitting in a great position. That's wonderful. But remember, there's the bullish markets and there's the bearish markets.
Yeah.
Where are you in this element? Where are you in the timeline of life in retirement? Do you have 20, 30, 40 years of accumulation left? Or are your accumulation years behind you and now the preservation distribution years are ahead of you? That's the conversation that we want to have.
Sure, absolutely. Market fluctuation and consistent income. How do those two, how do they play together?
Well, I talk about mailbox money, income, all the years of accumulating, it's just put it away, put it away, put it away. Well, then that changes when you retire. And now it's on, like I mentioned, distribution income, mailbox money. Do you have a pension? Yes or no? Do you have Social Security? More than likely. How much will it be? Do you have any other forms of guaranteed income? Where is it going to come from? It's why every week we talk about we want all the options on the table, from non qualified brokerage, different tax classification, to IRA money, Roth IRA money. We want the different buckets, if you will. We want money in all these buckets so we have options. The market's down. We don't want to draw from there. We have good liquidity. Maybe that's an option. So again, we want to generate the income for the things that we need, lifestyle, a house, vehicle, but then we need to generate for those things that you want, because I imagine you want to have a lifestyle, golfing, travel, whatever it is. So
Sure.
income is a major conversation that we have because, as I mentioned before, in all the years I've been on, I ask folks, when you retire, what was the most difficult thing? The answer that I get overwhelmingly is not getting a paycheck any
Mhm.
longer. And it makes sense. But now we have to generate another paycheck that's a self directed paycheck from the right accounts at the right time. And then you get back to tax efficiency. Again, may sound overwhelming, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think what's your experience, Larry? People who have a lot of their monies in the market and they're, well into their retirement. Do you find that they are peaceful or are they bothered a lot? Is this a psychological thing for these people?
It's a major psychological thing. It's for some
Yeah.
people more than others. We're all wired differently. I have some that, push the panic button as soon as the market goes down one day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be watching it as closely as you are. Again, that's wisdom for maybe somebody. For others, it's not. But it's why being in the right spot. The willingness for risk. Do you need to take a bunch of risk, and do you have the ability? It's how you answer that. Now, if you're looking to double your money in the next 10 years, you probably need to take the risk. However, that might not be very good advice for somebody that's getting close to retirement that doesn't need to, and they're not willing to. And
Yeah.
again, they may have the ability. Those are three elements that are a major part of how you answer those, should dictate kind of the track that you're on.
But there's also the flip side of that, and that's the psychological game for the person who has pulled their money out and they've played all their life. And then it's a really tough thing to just stand on the sidelines.
It is. Timing the market to get in, timing the market to get out,
Yeah.
virtually impossible. And we see people make mistakes. We joke that we don't really care how people sleep at night. Actually, we do. But so folks don't wake up in the morning and then make split decisions and regrettable decisions on making a bad decision at the wrong time. That's what we want folks to avoid. And that is the psychology of what we do as advisors, is coaching, having the conversations. Remember, we had this discussion that these days will come. Remember, and that's why we have it lined. That's why we have it the way we have it, so we can adapt. Adaptability is very important because market changes, life changes, health changes. Change is inevitable. It's how you respond to these changes that really matters. And that's where the psychology of money, it's real. There's studies that have been done on it. And at the end of the day, we don't have enough time for this show, but it is part of our conversation. But that comes, the confidence comes with those having conversations more frequently to address what really worries them. I always say, if you're worried and concerned, pick up the phone and call me or schedule a time to come in and visit with us. That will put that'll put a lot of the tension at ease if you're having
Sure.
these conversations.
Absolutely. 612-504-8400 is how you reach Larry and his team at Haven Financial Group. Again, we're talking about things that can stabilize your retirement during these inconsistent economic times. And a lot of times that just takes a partner to help you put together a plan that can weather the storm, if you will. And the folks at Haven Financial Group are certainly those are partners that you would, I think, enjoy and certainly know how to do this, how to put together plans that weather the storm. 612-504-8400. That is how you reach the folks there at Haven Financial Group. Give them a call. Go in. It's no obligation. Just go in, sit down, and have a chat. Larry, when we come back, let's talk about annuities. This is something that certainly can help you weather these storms, but not for everybody. So we'll talk about annuities on the other side of the break. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.